So we're going to talk about syntax, algorithms, comments, using the print function in Python. So before we do that, I'm going to navigate to my folder where I do all my developments. So I'll advise that you look at how to just play with your command line, play with your CMD, learn how to navigate folders in your command line, that's CMD, command line interface, also known as CMD. Learn how to create folders in your CMD as code hub, cd code hub Python script. Yeah. So I created a folder, and inside it I have something called comments. So I'm just going to go quickly to my development environment and delete that file. And it's no more there. All right, cool. Let's check to see that we have Python installed. Command line interface, and automatically it will open up this command line for you by Python. If you write something like credits, to give you all the whole credits. If you write something like copyright, it'll give you the whole copyright inside there. So you can perform mathematical operations. So for example, 4 plus 4, it will give you 8. 23 divided by 4, 8.5. You can actually like just type words like, I love Python. I love Python, syntax error. The reason why it's giving us syntax error is because Python expects me to put it inside something like this. I love Python. If I wrote I love, I press enter, the same thing. If I wrote I, enter, the same thing. So Python expects me to put it inside a quote. Let me exit this thing and come back inside. I like a clear screen. All right, so I'm going to type Python again. So yeah, you can see that we can do mathematical operations. We can type strings. I love Python. So there's something called a print statement. So print is a function in Python. Print is a function in Python. So I can write, I love Python, and close, and print I love Python. The print is a function, and functions, I'll talk about functions later, but just know that the print, you write print with this bracket, and then you put here, I love 4 Pythons. Close the quotes and close the bracket, enter. You write I love 4 Pythons. So difference between I love 4 Pythons that has no quotes and this is that Python is outputting it as a string, as a normal string, still saying that, oh, it's a quote. But over here with the print statement, is outputting it as an output, like a normal output to the command line that the user can see. What else? Okay, so let me leave this place. Yeah, you can even perform mathematical operations inside prints. So 5 plus 5 is equal to 5 plus 5 is 10. So the print statement is actually doing that. All right, let me exit. So now I'm in my code hub folder, code hub Python scripts, and I'm going to open it with VS Code. To open with VS Code, you write code, space, and full stop. Press enter. It opens VS Code for you with that folder, as you can see. So that folder is here, my Python. So it opens that folder. So I can actually create a file inside that folder and call it, let me just say print.py. So we have like with Microsoft Word, we have stuff like .docs, is it docs or something like that, .xl, if that's like that. With Windows, you have to install a software, you have .exe. With you get what I'm saying? Yeah, these are called file extensions. So, but with Python it's like .py. So when you see a file and it's .py, it's Python, it's a Python file. So I have actually made this print.py, and print.py is a Python file. Print.py is a Python file. You good? All right, thank you. So print.py is a Python file, and I can write print 4 + 4. Now to execute, you see there's no comma, we're not putting any comma. Now this brings me to our first conversation, syntax. So we've practically like dealt with using the print function in our Python file. So I'm going to clear this off. So we have the syntax. Now a syntax is the rule that governs a language, is the rule that governs a language. For example, if we are going to write English language right now, I can actually say, I love my puppy. This is a correct English language structure with a full stop. I can say, I can't say my love puppy. I can't say puppy love. You think something's wrong with me mentally. But because this is the right language, this is what everybody understands. English language, it's strong, it makes sense. When you say to me, I love my puppy, I would know that you love a puppy. So it's a rule that governs a language that, first of all, I love my puppy. Like, I don't have to explain the whole English very well, but there's a rule behind this, and the other sets don't make any sense. With Python, we have rules that govern the language. We have syntax. This syntax also will have like what we call keywords. We'll get into that later. I'm going to save. Always save when you write your code, always save. Then we can go to my terminal here and my command line. If I type ls, like that's on Mac, to show me what files are inside my Python script. So I have the print. So I can type to execute or run the Python script. I'll type Python print.py and I'll press enter. And you see it gives me the number 8. Well, you don't always have to come to your command line here to type that. So you could open your VS Code. You could go to terminal. There's an option for terminal on your computer. Then you click new terminal. When you click new terminal, let me push this up a bit. When you click new terminal, this is what happens. So you can practically see that we have our own terminal inside here. So you can code and then check here. So I can type Python, what's the name of the file? Print.py, which is a Python file, print.py. And I'll press enter and it says 8 because it calculated 4 + 4. So I can actually go here and say print, and I'll say I love Python Python so much. And I'll save my file, come here, Python, print.py, enter, and it prints out number 8, and it prints out, I love my Python. I love Python so much. So the beauty about this is Python is executing the script line by line. Python is executing the script line by line. All right. So far, we have covered syntax. Now, if you can remember what I said about syntax, there are rules that govern our language. Also, now we're going to talk about algorithms. What are algorithms? Algorithms is like the step-by-step process in which you solve a problem. Algorithm is the step you take to solve problems. So for example, I gave an example before, how to boil an egg. So how do you boil an egg? Let me see. First of all, you turn on the gas. You put water in the kettle. You put the egg in the water. You put the kettle on the fire, and you allow the egg to boil for 15 minutes. Then you turn off the gas. Now your egg is done. So this is how to boil an egg. This is how to boil an egg. And that person could say that the way to boil their own egg, another way to boil their egg is they first have to put water in the kettle first. Then put the egg in the kettle. Then put the kettle on the gas burner. Turn on the gas. Leave the egg to boil for 10 minutes. If that's what it takes to boil an egg. Turn off the gas. Then the egg is boiled. Now, there are two approaches here. The first approach is the person went on to turn the gas on first, put the water in the kettle, put the egg in the kettle. Put the egg in the kettle. You put the kettle on the fire. You allow the egg to boil for 15 minutes. You turn off the gas. The egg is ready. Somebody will say, put the water in the kettle first. Put the egg in the kettle. Put the kettle on the gas burner. Turn on the gas. Leave the egg to boil for 10 minutes. Turn off the gas. Egg is cooked. So this is like a step-by-step process to solving a problem. A step-by-step process. That's an algorithm. And it's very simple when it comes to Python, because you have to think as a programmer, you're a problem solver. You have to think of how to solve a problem. So I am going to clear this up. If I had to replicate this particular step in my Python script to tell somebody who is running my program how to boil an egg, all I have to do is I'm outputting, so I'm going to use print. Let's see, how to boil an egg. Let me style it well. How to boil an egg. Let me style it. Then print, turn the gas on, turn on the gas. What else? Put water in the kettle, put water in the kettle. What else? Put the egg in the kettle, put the egg in the kettle. What else? Put the kettle on the fire, put the kettle on the fire, on the gas, on the gas. What else? Allow the egg to boil for 15 minutes. Allow the egg to boil for 15 minutes. Allow the egg to boil for 15 minutes. What else? You turn off the gas, turn off the gas. And then you're good. That's an algorithm. An algorithm is a step-by-step process which you use to get a solution or solve a problem. Now, if I run my script, Python print.py. The reason why I named this file print.py because I just want to explain that I want to just make you know that I want to make you know what the print function does. I could call it any other thing. So print.py, press enter, and it says how to boil an egg. Next, we are talking about comments. You're a Python programmer. You want to know what the script does. We actually comment on code so that another programmer or someone who is technical can know what a function or a code is doing. And comments don't run in the program. When Python is running your script, it ignores comments. And how do we use comment? We use the hashtag, the hashtag. So we use our hash. So on Twitter, you're not to use your hashtags. We use hashtags for comments. So I can write this script shows you how to boil an egg. If I save it and I come here to run my Python script, we cannot see this statement inside here. Let me try and increase my, we cannot see this Python script, this Python statement inside our script. Reason is because Python does not run the comment statement. So I'll go over everything again. We have the syntax. Syntax are rules that govern a language, it technically allows you to communicate to the computer. And Python has its syntax, and you'll be learning a lot of syntax. Also, we have algorithms, a step-by-step process solving a problem. And that's what I just showed you or explained to you in a very, very simple term. And we have comments. Comments allow you to describe or leave statements in your script that will not be executable by Python.